testing him and preparing him for the likes of Alexander Usyk. I mean, Moses is special. There is absolutely no doubt about it. But at the same time, he may go in there and get absolutely schooled by Alexander Usyk, or he might knock him out.
Past the level of British level. So obviously I'm going on to the European world level, but the European world level fighters are holding too much value to fight a young guy like me, because obviously it could be a career-ending loss. But then obviously the guys who's got the belts, Fabio Wardley and Usyk, I mean, they've earned the right to...
Because we don't know what Alexander Usyk's going to do with those, and they will become vacant, some of these titles. It could be a world title, possibly even next. Me and Simon were talking about Frank Sanchez, obviously being a possible opponent as well. Would you put him in for a world title if that opportunity come up next?
Well, I think the WBO are going to order him to fight, to be their mandatory.
I think he's just been mandatory, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think they will order a mandatory soon, because I think that's due. Then you've got as you say, you've got the WBA. There are many.
Always leave it over to the fighter and the trainer predominantly, right? The trainer's job is to really tell me if they truly believe he's ready. I mean, Ben Davison is, I was joking with him at the weekend about being a little bit protective of his fighters. He's not. He gets it right. But he knows Usyk knowing Ben Davison, he would want, ideally, Moses to go in with Usyk now. Can he beat him? I'm sure they believe he can, but you want to go in there when you're ready. And like you said, he's never been past 4 rounds. So what happens against Usyk, who tires everybody out, once you get 7, 8, 9 rounds deep?
But I feel like in this boxing game, there's always going to be people saying something, and obviously Usyk had to say something to you guys, and he's not exactly going to come on a camera and say, nah, I don't want to potentially put my career at risk because of a 21-year-old that's coming through the ranks. So obviously he has to say something, but I don't think that people believed it, and if they did, then I guess
probably wouldn't be ideal to. It's not perfect timing, but at the same time, I do think Moses is the person with the most amount of chance to
him too. Not better Biev as much, but Bivol fights a little bit that way, but this is with power and speed. Bivol has a bit more volume and grace to his, but Itauma has devastation and electricity behind his left hand, and then that right hook sweeps across and hits you right on top of the head. To see that in a heavyweight is so special, and this is why I call Moses Itauma.
It's okay, fun fight, no problem, but I want a next fight with who winner, Daniel Dubois and maybe Wardley.
Eddie Hearn just destroyed Moses Itauma's title shot dreams, and what he said about the 21-year-old phenom is absolutely brutal.
And the reason I think that he'll do that, Alexander Usyk, is because Usyk is that guy he'll want to go down as not just one of the greatest to ever do it, but the greatest to ever do it. And I think that by beating the young kid that everybody's talking about as being the next king of this new generation, by doing that, if he beats Moses Itauma, his record is unprecedented.
Hearn went straight for the throat, claims Itauma can knock out Usyk in round 1. Complete nonsense, according to Eddie. He's questioning everything about this kid's readiness for elite-level boxing.
Fight now. Styles make fights. He's got youth, he's got speed, and he's a great fighter. I think this young man is something extra special.
But here's where it gets wild. Hearn says Itauma has never even gone past 4 rounds. Against a machine like Usyk, who breaks fighters in the championship rounds. That's a recipe for disaster.
It was pretty much said the other day. I found it strange that Fabio was on the show to some extent, because he was put questions about how wonderful Moses was. Well, he's the incumbent heavyweight champ, but he was there and he was asked about this, and his attitude was, he's a stablemate. I don't see me fighting Moses anytime in my near future, and the only time I would fight him is if I've got 2 belts and he's got 2 belts. How do you square that circle if that's the situation?
Moses fired back hard. Says everyone's misreading Usyk's comments about avoiding him. Claims it's all boxing politics and fans don't understand what's really happening behind closed doors.
Yes, he's the heir to Alexander Usyk's throne. He's this, that. And I'm here to say, yeah, I think he is all that. And it's not just me. I think the majority of people actually do think that. Moses Itauma gets a lot of hype, yes, but it's warranted.
Now check this out. Ben Davison admits the timing isn't perfect, but drops this bombshell. Among all current contenders, Itauma has the best chance to actually beat Usyk. Size, speed, and skill combined.
And the heavyweight is so special. And this is why I call Moses Itauma a hybrid. And I said this on the Ring Show, what Alexander Usyk is able to use to his advantage at heavyweight, no one else really has. He's a smaller heavyweight. In this era, we are in the era of the super heavyweight. All the heavyweights being like 250 plus at like 6'5". They're monsters. And oddly enough, Usyk uses it to his advantage. He uses it to expose the lack of footwork, fundamentals, technique, speed, and otherwise of the bigger, heavier, powerful guys. But Moses Itauma's that hybrid, where he's 240 pounds, 6 foot plus, but he's just as fast as an Alexander Usyk, maybe faster. Actually, no, not maybe, is faster. He possesses all the same skills of a cruiserweight Alexander Usyk, but moves like, some of these middleweights at heavyweight. We haven't seen a guy like him in a very long time, right? That size, that speed, that agility with that technique, that footwork. Again, the last guy it reminds you of is Alexander Usyk, but he's not even a true heavyweight. Itauma is,
Wade Plemons breaks down why Itauma is different. This isn't your typical heavyweight. He's got middleweight speed with heavyweight power. His left hand and right hook are absolutely devastating.
Usyk, that motherfucker going in the water for 10 minutes, he work on his stamina so he can hop around the ring and do what he do for 12 rounds, right? And turn that shit up if he want to, anytime he want, so he different. But he ain't ready for no Usyk, but shit, I know Usyk ain't finna step up and be like, let me fight the young.
Then Usyk himself speaks, and this is crazy. The undisputed champion shows respect, says he doesn't want to damage Itauma's career too early. When has Usyk ever shown fear?
He's unbelievable. The only thing that I worry about with Moses is the size. But ultimately, as we've seen now, size becomes irrelevant because look what Alexander Usyk's done. This guy's gone out and beaten everyone, including me. He's exceptional. So I don't think Moses is going to be as technically as good as Alexander Usyk, but he's the next in line. I think he's the future of the heavyweight division. I think he's an outstanding talent. I think
Spencer Oliver flips the script completely. Says beating Itauma would elevate Usyk's legacy even higher. Taking out the next king of boxing, that's career-defining stuff right there.
Will want to fight Moses if he's 40 already. So maybe the clock is ticking. The clock is clicking. The clock is ticking for Moses to fight Usyk before he's 40. Maybe as well, he won't want to ruin his legacy, but maybe if Turki Al-Sheikh wants to see the fight, put up enough money, maybe he will fight him, and maybe the legacy will be ruined. But maybe if he fights him before...
Frank Warren goes full promoter mode. Says he'd make this fight tomorrow if possible. Believes Itauma's youth and speed are genuine advantages against the aging champion.
He's a fighter, he's a winner, he's got plenty of ambition, and he truly believes that he can go in there and beat any man in the world right now, and that includes Alexander Usyk. Do I personally think it's too soon? Yes, I do. Usyk's he's a different breed, he's a different fighter. Yes, he's getting older.
But Itauma drops some truth bombs about boxing politics. Admits champions like Usyk have earned the right to pick and choose their fights. Smart money avoids dangerous young lions.
Who looks absolutely extraordinary, and for me he ticks all the boxes. I like his attitude, I like his style, southpaw, hard-hitting, moves so well. He's going to be very, very difficult to sort of deter, so it's an interesting one because, is this too soon for Moses, or is this just the right fight at the right time?
Tim Bradley brings everyone back to reality. Says Itauma simply isn't ready for Usyk's 12-round championship experience. The hype train might be moving too fast for its own good.
On the back end, because he didn't. He said the kid is good. This did happen, and I saw this shot. I'm like, that's.
Multiple experts agree on one thing, though. Itauma represents the future of heavyweight boxing. The question isn't if he'll be champion, but when he'll be ready for that level.
when you get one, and it's not legal, but so we're the ones that are making an issue about, or bringing up the subject about being hit on the.
So here's the real debate tearing boxing apart right now. Is Moses Itauma the next heavyweight king getting ducked by scared champions, or is he a talented prospect being rushed toward career suicide? The experts are completely split. Promoters are salivating over potential Wembley sellouts, and Usyk himself seems genuinely conflicted about fighting him. Drop your take in the comments, smash that like button if this breakdown opened your eyes, and subscribe because this heavyweight division is about to explode. The future is coming whether the old guard is ready or not.
They know before anybody else what they've got left in the tank. And some stay there because there's always another payday. There's always another payday. And I hope the people, I just hope that whatever happens, that, as I say, they come out safe and that's it. But if they're going to carry on, as long as they're fit and well and mentally.
The heavyweight landscape is shifting faster than anyone expected. And Moses Itauma isn't the only young monster making waves right now. We're witnessing a generational changing of the guard that has old-school fighters absolutely terrified.
26 rounds in his career. And so you needed a bit more of, all right, let's get later into the fight. Let's see what he does as he gets tired. Can he hold the same composure? Will he start to wither as the rounds go on? And honestly, if I'm grading his performance in this fight, I'm going to say A or A minus solely because of very small things that I'm going to nitpick. But outside of that, this was a fantastic performance for Itauma. And I expected it.
Look at what's happening across the entire division. Jard Anderson is crushing veterans, Bakadir Jalilov is demolishing everyone in his path, and now Itauma is calling out the undisputed champion. These young heavyweights aren't waiting their turn anymore.
When have we not had a good Magnificent Seven? They're always good quality nights. We had Dublin was the same, wasn't it? Great night. Germany, great night, great crowd and everything. That's our start to the year. Unfortunately, we lost 2 dates for injuries.
Eddie Hearn might be protecting his business interests here. Think about it. If Itauma somehow pulls off the impossible and starches Usyk, where does that leave Anthony Joshua's comeback plans? Suddenly, AJ is chasing a 21-year-old kid instead of an aging champion. The psychological warfare is already starting. Usyk's team keeps mentioning Itauma's inexperience, but they're also studying every second of his footage. You don't analyze fighters you're not worried about. That's boxing 101 right there. Here's what nobody's talking about, though. Itauma's sparring reports are absolutely insane. Word from his camp is he's been dropping seasoned pros consistently. These aren't publicity stunts. These are closed-door sessions with legitimate contenders. The Saudi money is watching this situation very carefully. Turki Usyk has already proven he'll pay whatever it takes for the fights fans actually want to see. If public demand gets loud enough, this fight happens regardless of what promoters think. But there's a dark side to rushing young fighters. Remember what happened to Deontay Wilder when he faced elite opposition too early in his development. Sometimes protecting a prospect means saying no to massive paydays and career-defining opportunities.